Welcome to the Sleevy G Show. I'm your host for your most. My name is Gomez, and tonight, as we're in the new year of 2026, I do have another special guest. Now, me and my buddy here have been talking for about a year and a half now. We've connected over some stuff, and one thing we have passion for is movies. He might not be the biggest name, but he is in the movies, which I admire him because that's something I always wanted to do all my life. But he's the lucky one, and I'm not. Figure that. But let me bring in my buddy Romeo Castle. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, my friend?
Oh, dude, it's cold day in Jersey. I'll tell you that much, man. Freezing in Jersey, but I know you're in the West Coast enjoying 65-degree weather all day long, and I'm freezing my ass off in Jersey.
Hey, look, what can I say? I can't really help where I was born.
True.
Uh Maybe we could swap every now and then.
Dude, I wouldn't, you know what? I do have family out in the West Coast in San Diego, and I almost, oh God, when am I married? 11, attached 13. I'll be honest with you, almost 14 years ago, I almost made that move to Cali.
We'll stop, dude.
It's called marriage. I,
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I met the right person. I met the right person. And if it wasn't for that, I'd be out in San Diego probably still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have family out there. I fell in love with it. I'm not gonna lie. San Diego was a spot that I really enjoyed myself. I mean, I've been to LA, been to San Diego. I've been to Southern Cal a lot, and
Yeah.
it felt, I felt that was like the best spot for me at that point. But then I met somebody, and then many years later, here I am in Jersey still, but I don't mind it. I'm happy as all hell.
And I think it's fate sometimes.
You know what? It's kind of funny. I agree with you. It's if it wasn't for that, I probably would be out on the West Coast. But like you said, it probably is fate. You know what I mean? Like that I do believe.
Yeah,
Fate comes in through different ways and different people. And I can say I'm very lucky in where I'm at.
absolutely.
Now we definitely are want to get to know you a little bit more here, and so does everybody else who listens to the show. Tell me about yourself a little bit. Like, how did you get into acting? That's the best question.
How did I get into acting? Well, we started conversing last year on social media,
Yes.
and that was around October, November. That was my first year into acting
Okay.
within like the first half a year.
Hmm.
Um, let's rewind the clock last year to March.
Okay.
So I I'm a recovering addict and
Okay.
alcoholic. Um, I
Well,
know it's a topic that we've touched about a little bit,
yeah. And you know what? God bless you that you
and
are recovering, man. God bless you because a lot of people don't admit to that.
a lot of people go down. Um, I've lost a lot of family, people I've met, um, whether it's in, treatment centers or people that I've met in my travels that they're no longer here. And
Mm.
it's uh, it's such a waste.
Hmm.
I I I can only wish that they could be around to see how things are now.
Hmm.
Um, Anyways, back on track.
Yeah.
I uh I was deep heavy in my addiction. I was I wasn't allowed back at my house, so I was living out of my car. I was, kind of couch surfing between this ex-girlfriend at the time and, friends, more, friends like
Yeah. Yeah.
people I would use drugs with. Um, and I didn't have a job. I was in debt. I was kind of doomed. I was kind of
Hmm.
screwed. Um, and it felt like for a good while there, I was kind of reaching the end of things, if you
Okay.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Um, One day randomly, I got this bright idea. I was like, hey, well, my life is going nowhere. I don't have any money. I have nowhere to live, nowhere to go. But people have always told me I'm a good looking guy, or like I have a good voice. Like you
Hmm.
should try like acting and like voice acting. And I don't know what sparked in me, but I had this revelation just one day randomly. It was March 13th of last year, I believe, to the dot. I just randomly decided I was like, hey, I'm gonna start acting. So the first thing I do is I look up how do you get started acting. I
Hmm.
joined a couple acting sites like Casting Networks and Actors Access. I went on Instagram and I was looking up like every director I could find. And I actually stumbled across this guy. He's like a brother to me,
Hmm.
Giovanni Demetrius. Um, Random guy. He didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who he was, but I saw he was making a movie. I was like hounding this dude down, trying to get him to respond to me. I'm like, dude, put me in your movie. And I was just like harassing this guy. And I don't know what sparked in him. Maybe it was just something that he saw in me, but he gave me a shot. He said, you know what, sure. He sent me a little audition thing. And I was fully expecting him to just be like, no, dude, I think we're good. And I'm just some random guy. He doesn't
Right.
even know anything about me. Like my Instagram wasn't even acting related. I was just some random dude. He doesn't know anything about me. He doesn't even know where I'm from. We happen to live in the same relative area in LA, so that was a plus. And so he sent me this side. I performed it really quick. He liked it. We spoke on the phone briefly after. We made plans to meet up like that following day.
Hmm.
Some conveniently a bar. I'm the one who I'm like, hey man, we're like, bro, like, where's a place we can, stop and lounge and just chat. He's like, oh, what about dinner? We can go to the bar. We gonna say bar? Let's go to the bar. So, so we meet up at this bar about halfway around Montrose area. It's like
Okay.
tiny little town called La Cañada. Um, and we sit down to film some stuff, um, and we're just talking. I'm getting to know this guy, and we hang out for like 5 hours straight that night, just barely knowing the guy, and we're just chit chatting and talking about film and all this stuff. And I don't know, whatever it was that he saw in me,
Hmm.
he wanted to take a chance on me. And he's not like some big production guy. He doesn't have
Right.
a all these. And he's just a guy with a camera and a dream. And I wasn't even expecting to get paid. I was just excited about the idea. And, we talked about payment and whatever, and I was really excited to hear that too. Um, I was after that, I got a bit of like excitement, and I was happy. But as often as that special friend doubt creeps in, I
Hmm.
was I was doubting myself, and I was like, well, here's the thing, does this guy really think I'm good, or am I just kind of is he just kind of telling me what I want to hear? So about a week or so after that, I'm like applying to stuff on Actors Access, and I landed this small little project on Hulu, like a
Hmm.
weekend acting. It's one of those like fake court shows,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Justice with Ebony K. Williams, and
Nice.
I played the plaintiff, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, but still, even then, like even though it was cool, like a week or so into acting, oh, I'm on this little reality show on Hulu. That's so cool, but still, I was like, am I just getting lucky? I mean, how many serious actors get cast on like reality TV or whatever?
Right.
And so I do some digging and I'm figuring, well, if I'm acting, I need to learn how to act, right? So I need to go to like an acting school or a class.
Right.
I was too broke to take any acting classes. So I tried auditioning for an acting school, AMDA out in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
I auditioned about a week or so after that Hulu project, sometime the end of March, maybe the beginning of April. I poured my heart out for that audition. You have to audition to get in the school. It's usually performing like a 90-second monologue, two back-to-back 90-second monologues. One of them has to be of a dramatic nature, one of them more comedic. And so I go in there, like I stay up the night before. I'm like, because in this dramatic scene, my guy, he's tired and he's heartbroken. So I'm pulling an all-nighter and I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, and I'm trying to get myself in that spot.
Right.
And I auditioned my heart out, and I'm anxiously waiting to hear back. And I hear back pretty quickly, and I get in on a pretty good scholarship.
Nice.
Um, it wasn't enough for me to go.
Hmm.
Um, Even after my scholarship, it was still going to be something like $1,300 a month out of pocket, which I cannot afford.
Right.
And most first year students have to be living on campus. So that's, not
It,
including the room and board fees. So I'm like,
yeah.
holy shit, dude,
It's about
I'm not
like
cut out for
20.
this.
It's like
Yeah.
now you're talking two to $2,500 a month now.
Mhm. Exactly. So I was like, I'm screwed. And I was, I was upset, and I was like, oh no, I had this cool idea and everything was going so well. But I thought about it for a second. I thought about it again. And I noticed that a lot of the greats always talk about that they learn, you don't sit in a class and learn how to feel things. Well,
Right.
that's something that you can do just seeking inward. And I started researching about certain actors and their different methods. Like if someone wants to go about it in a method way, or they
Hmm.
take their, I believe it's the, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the I forget the name. I'm buffering on the name, but the method where you use your own past experiences in your work.
Method acting. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I think the right correct word because I've seen actors like you said, in big names like Pacino,
yeah,
McConaughey, Sandler's another one, which is for comedic purposes.
yeah,
You look at his all his friends are in every single of his movies because he brings his life to the movies.
yeah,
So if you think about it,
yeah. And I took inspiration from some, I actually I'm really admired by you know Aaron Paul, right?
oh yes,
Breaking Bad star. I did a lot of research. I mean, I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad. Um, I do think he earned, and he should have earned more Emmys for that show.
he
But the one
didn't.
thing that, yeah, but the one thing that drawn me so much to him was how he swears by it. He
Mhm.
never took any kind of classes because the same as me, he couldn't afford it. The dude packed up his life. Most of these actors pack up their life to go chase their dreams, and they can't afford to be shelling out hundreds of dollars for acting classes to
Right.
teach you how to move your mouth or whatever. And I thought more about it, and I just wanted to take a chance. I was like, you know what, dude, I got nothing else going for me. Let's just try this thing. So I keep reaching out to directors. I met this wonderful, incredibly talented director, Nadine. I worked with her and her husband Serge on this short film shortly after that Hulu show. It's called The Cake. That one went on to win, like dozens of awards at different film festivals. We had the premiere for it and everything. It was
Mhm.
really cool, and I managed to get that role also just kind of by reaching out to her. In
Right.
this desperate attempt. I was like, hey, I know you don't know me, and I don't even have a professional headshot. I don't have a resume, but do you need actors for your movie? And just hounding this girl down, and she finally's like, yes, dude, like I have a part for you. I'll let you know. And it was a beautiful day filming. I have it somewhere on my Instagram highlights, and
Yes, I actually
yeah,
seen it on your IG.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful script too. I still remember she wanted me to play a different juror, but she changed my role to this other guy because she said that I in her Slavic accent she said I am handsome douchebag. And I was like, thank you, I think. I'm like, shit, that's kind of fucked up. But at least she said I'm handsome.
At
So
least,
that's a
yeah,
plus.
you give you that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Um, Again, I kept on just like shooting my shot out there.
Yeah.
I had no shame, I was like, hey dude, the worst thing I'll get is a no, and then I can find the next project to audition for, this and that. Um a couple of months after doing this, I managed to come across this casting call. This is my biggest project that I want to talk about, Shadow
Mhm.
of the Sun, for background work. They were
Okay.
casting background characters, um, and I actually found out the opportunity from the Psycho Sundays, the biker group that rides around on Sundays.
Hmm.
And they're very known in the Boyle Heights community, and they represent with their art. And yeah, like they tag buildings or whatever, and
Yeah.
but they're lovely people, and they care about the community and keeping them safe and keeping everyone informed of everything. And I met them going to the film set. It was taking place at Monarch Studios. The director of Shadow of the Sun, Andrew Kappas, brilliant director, brilliant man. Um, I went there, not expecting much. Again, I went there for background work.
Right.
I walked in, I hit it off with him. I hit it off with the producers. And I noticed how he just keeps on kind of eyeing me. And, I'm getting kind of excited, but I'm like trying to like stand out. Like I showed up in my suit and like
Yeah,
I had my little business card and I was like, dude, like I'm trying to get noticed, bro. But still, I had a feeling I'm like, hey, this is most likely just going to be a background thing because I'm 3 months into acting, still not that much experience.
right.
And we start talking and we hit it off. And, you know, after I leave and, I'm expecting to come back as background, he says he'll reach out to me. And like about a couple weeks go by and I'm, doing my thing and whatever, trying to figure out. I did end up getting a job. I
Hmm.
worked Pollo Loco fast food for a while. And that was, it was good to pay the bills.
I was about to say it
And
pays the bills right
yeah,
there.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It
Pays
gets
the
a little,
bills. Yeah.
it's something in your pocket too, a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm reaching out to Andrew because, I'm not hearing anything. So I'm like, again, like a big thing with me is always that doubt. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, like I don't know if this dude actually did see something in me because he was mentioning how that we would speak soon. I'm like, okay, whatever, whatever. And so, me and him, we talk on the phone, and he says that he wants me to come by and audition for one of the roles. I was like, oh, okay. Like, are you saying like, do you want like one of the bikers to have like a line or two? He's like, no, Romeo, I want you to audition for Mateo. He's one of the leads in the movie.
Oh shit.
I was like, what the? I was like, what?
By the way, you
And
can
I'm
curse
like,
in this show, so no worries. This is rated for everybody. So if cursing is allowed, so don't
yeah, I
worry.
was like, what the fuck? I was like, no way, dude. And I'm like, I'm losing my shit. And I'm like, yes, I'll be there. I'm like, of course, I'll be there. I'll be there right now. Do you want me
Yeah.
to pay you money? I'm like, bro, what do I got to do? I'm like, I'm there. Like, yes. And so I get the audition date. It's about like a week later. And I'm so excited. I'm so nervous because I'm like, dude, this audition is either like a make it or break it. Like, if
Right.
I get this audition, I might actually go somewhere. If I don't, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm
Right.
gonna die of like missed opportunities.
I know the
Um,
feeling.
yeah. I go back for the audition. Shout out Monster sponsoring this video. And I'm sitting there waiting. Like I check in, whatever, and I notice there's not many other. I'm Mexican. I noticed there's not many other Hispanics there. There's a white guy. I think he's auditioning for a different role.
Hmm.
A couple girls there, and I'm like, I'm kind of scoping the room, and I'm picking up on that. And Andrew's texting me talking about how he wants to get these other people out of the way first because he wants to have more time to talk with me.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, is there anyone else auditioning ahead of me for Mateo? And he's like, there's nobody else I'm considering. I was like, oh.
Oh.
So that made me even more nervous because I'm like, either he's tooting my horn right now, or he's pretty much saying without saying it, I want you for this role. This audition is just a formality, which eventually that's how it became.
Right.
Um, I walked in there. I was so nervous, like I was stumbling over my words. I think I even excused myself to go relieve myself. I was so nervous.
I wouldn't blame you.
I had stomach bubbles. Um, but I do my thing. I act my heart out. I leave. I drive back home. I get a call back a couple hours later. I didn't have an agent at that point either.
Right.
You know, most people probably found out about this audition from their agent.
Hmm.
Me, I just didn't. Um, I didn't have my actual auditioning experience like with self tapes and callbacks until I got my agent later that year around October.
Okay.
My original agent, Christina, from Starburst Talent Agency. Um, Filming Shadow of the Sun, it was uh, it was quite a roller coaster. We filmed from about August to October. And then we
Jesus.
did some pickup days in November. There was lots of SFX. I still have the original script.
Nice.
It's the most beautiful thing ever. I gave everything in that movie. It's this story about the neighborhood in Boyle Heights.
Hmm.
It's about gay. It's about Mexican. It's about brown. It's about the community. And we filmed around Alvera Street. We filmed where they shot Blood In, Blood Out
Oh,
at San
nice.
Pedro's. Um, I can't. I mean, it's already out in the public, but Danny Trejo's in the movie, Absolute Cinema.
Nice.
So is a very wonderful, talented friend of mine, Gustavo Gomez, best known for his work on The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Um,
And a good last name with that's because that's my last
yeah,
name, Gomez.
yeah,
So
yeah.
So I'll give him props on that one. No relations, everybody. So just
No,
understand,
no relations that we know
no relations because of the last name.
of. I I really made family on that set.
Nice.
My on-screen little brother, played by this kid Alex, the sweetest, softest guy I ever met. The connections I made on that set, they were everything.
Hmm.
It's about Aztec mythology. This big event goes down, and we all find ourselves trapped, strangers.
Yeah.
Strangers from all different backgrounds, walks of life, and we're in the situation where we're stuck together, and we
Right.
have to find out a way together. And of course, there's butting heads because some of us might be more arrogant than others, or some of
Hmm.
us might be a little more stubborn than others, or scared.
I know that
And
feeling.
it's such a beautiful. It's we're still hardcore in post production. It's looking like it's going to be finished up early next year, and I'm very happy to say that it's going to be making some streaming service appearances,
Nice.
also potentially some theater performance appearances.
Good,
So
good.
be on the lookout for that.
Definitely.
Um, yeah, working with those people and working with Andrew, I got so much better than I ever thought I ever could have been. Um, and I also felt a lot of intimidation on that set. I put myself through a lot for that movie. I'm sitting next to these people, you know, with bachelors in acting and years of experience on screen. And I'm sitting over here 4 months ago, I was sweating living in my car. And
Yeah.
then 4 months later, I'm sitting in a chair with my name on it, having PAs bringing me breakfast, asking me if they want me to if they have to do a coffee run for me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna give me coffee? You're gonna pay for my coffee? They're
Wait a
gonna
minute.
pay for my coffee? Give
Something
me
I'm not used
seven
to.
coffees, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that was I know going from feeling like so down
Down.
here to
Yeah.
kind of feeling like on top of the world. That was a really big change. Another big thing I did was I'm sure you've seen it on my Instagram. I did this modeling contract that ended up on Times Square. That was really cool. That was really crazy. That made me feel like kind of like king for
Yeah.
for a minute there. I was like, oh shit, bro. Like my titties are out on Times Square. Yo, that's crazy. I'm like, I'm on a billboard.
That still has to be, if you think about it, that has to be huge accomplishments too, because I mean, I know you said right before the beginning of the show, you're recovering. You're a
Yeah, yeah,
recover, you're recovered, but you know, it's you're not the first person that's been on my show that said that.
yeah,
I've had
yeah,
a good friend of mine that I didn't even know he was on painkillers for a long time.
yeah,
He was a good friend of mine. We went to school together. Well, we played sports together, and then we were in the same high school. Never knew that he was on painkillers for as long as I've known him. And then, he told me on my own show, and I'm like, Jesus, I never
yeah,
knew that. And then I had another a guest on my show who, when we were talking, he just completed his 1 year sobriety
yeah,
from hardcore drugs. Like we're talking coke.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's something to now he's married with a child and he's got a second, I'm seeing these guys like I'm still friends with and
yeah,
I see them progressing and growing and doing stuff just like you are, you know what I mean? And to see that, man, it's huge because I actually was an alcoholic at one point myself.
yeah, yeah, no,
I lost my dad many moons ago, and the only thing that kind of was helping me, I wouldn't call it to make me sane. I think it was just a stupid thing for what I was doing. I was drinking every day, but it was
yeah,
to hide the pain
yeah,
that, because I felt like losing my dad is like I lost everything. Like I failed him in a way, you know what I mean? Because he was gone.
yeah,
And it took me many years later to realize, like, shit, I messed up my life because I pushed people away, just like, you did. Like, I threw some things away that I shouldn't have, and I did, but, I can't live on the past and regrets. Just
yeah,
like I know, as you're recovering too, it's not easy. I mean, I've lost friends, I've lost great friends, and I've gained other friends that filled the void.
yeah. No, I
And,
know.
And it's not easy, but at the end of the day, you have to be happy in who you are. And
Yeah.
that's something I've learned. With luckily finding the one with my wife now
Yeah.
kind of helped me grow more as an adult more than a kid, or a big kid. She showed me more of the back to responsibilities to build myself up a little bit and build my credit back up and really kind of take control more of my life.
Yeah.
And that was 14, 15 years ago. And here I am now in 2026, happily where I'm at with two awesome kids and a great wife. And I think to myself, what happens if I never met her? Like
But
you said, it's
never
fate.
matter. It's fate sometimes.
Just like you know what I mean? Like if I look at you, you're a perfect example of faith. Faith works. Fate works. If you believe in it, it does happen. Look at you. You went from being the best word is addict to recovering to just typing people like, hey, let me in.
Yeah.
Here, I'm trying to kick down the door. Let me in. Try me out. See what happens. It's the same thing with podcasting for me. I was on part of another podcast before I went on my own. And to be honest with you, I think it was my second episode. I got a two-time Emmy Award winner on my show.
Yeah.
For me, that's huge. Then a few shows later, I get a New York Giants legend on my show.
Remember that. Yeah.
And then my 100th episode, I get Drowning Pool for my show.
Yeah.
And then later on, I get the lead singer Alex from The Calling.
I know, dude. I seen that.
And then I get all these guys, and you know what? And then I took a break. Something happened.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And I took a long break.
Yeah.
Like I was going hardcore for almost about a year. All of a sudden it got very busy for me. I'm like, holy Christ, I'm getting all these people. The iron was hot.
Yeah. Very hot.
But then again, it started to feel like a job after a while. So, like, look, I'm
That's
not getting,
amazing.
I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this for free. I don't ask anybody for money. I don't ask for autographs. I don't ask for notoriety. I don't ask for anything because this is part of who I am. I love doing this stuff. And then I said I had to step away, just like, anything else. I spent time with the family. I got back into a couple of hobbies that I haven't done in a long time, which was collecting sports cards, Star Wars, stuff like that. And then I'm like, wow, we're going broke. So I started selling the stuff that I
Yeah.
collected, the extra stuff that I didn't want, the good stuff I kept. Then I'm like,
Sure.
all right, well, made some extra bucks here and there, you know what I mean, which was good. Helps us out in the end of the day a little bit here and there. But then I think it was a no, I think it was end of October. I was just saying to myself, I'm like, I kind of missing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I miss talking to people. I miss hearing people's stories. I wouldn't call it a spotlight because it's not a spotlight for me. I just miss the conversations and getting to know people. And that's something I love. And people say they come on the show, oh my God, it was like not even an interview. I go, I try not to make it an interview. I don't do boring questions. Oh, here, let me take out my notebook. I'll even do this just for shits and giggles. What was your drug of choice? What was your favorite drink? What's your favorite slice of pizza? No, it's boring.
Pepperoni.
Oh, okay. Pepperoni, great. You're like
Yeah.
my daughter.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like
No, I know. I know.
you just can't. I had to be something different. I had to.
It has to be you.
It's got to be me, and that's what I love, and that's what I do, and I think that's what people get drawn because I do different interviews. Because when people leave the show, they're like, "It doesn't even feel like an interview." I'm like, "No, it's like two guys sitting at a bar chatting."
Yeah.
That's the whole point. I remember one of the local New Jersey stars never did a podcast, and she was nervous. I said, "Don't be nervous. We're like two friends." And I'll be honest, I still talk to her. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I still talk to almost everybody, that I've made connections with. You know, I always because she's been in the MTV Music Awards, and I'm watching. I'm like, I see you. I go, hey, you still need an assistant that night? Like joking around, like something I would love to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go on the red carpet and interview people and just say I was there.
Yeah.
You
That'd
know,
be cool.
my dream is to be bigger than Seth Rogen one day. But that, he's got millions of dollars. I got, if I'm lucky, two bowls of pennies in my bowl of lint, two pennies in my pocket. But that's fine. I tell people if I get one person who listens to the show, that means I did my job.
Just one.
It just takes one guy. You know how many times I've sent out to sports people, their agents, and they're all like, "Well, yeah, it's going to cost you $100." I'm like, I don't do this for the money.
Yeah.
What? Just do it for free. People want to know who your client is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I get it. It's time is the money is their time. But if they're not playing in season and they're injured, they should donate time for other people. And again, that's me. If I ever made it big, I'd still donate my time.
Of course.
Because everyone says money doesn't make the person. But when you receive, and again, I'm never going to see this, and maybe one day I hope you do. I'm never going to see $1 million check in my hand. I'm never going to see royalties in my hand. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm going to say, hopefully, I say, ah, I remember when he was small time, he made it big, and I remember when he was on my show. I could still add that. Like having Alex from The Calling was huge. It's still a growing episode for me for some,
Yeah.
it's got over 200,000, no, 2,000 hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about a nobody from New Jersey to get the lead singer from there,
That's a
just,
big deal.
I mean, but I still grind. I still
Yeah,
send
no problem.
emails because even though they say, oh no, too busy. Okay, I'll check back.
Yeah.
I just started again. Hey, remember me? I emailed you like 6 months ago. I know you said no then. Well, what about
What about
now?
now?
Yeah. Like I'm still knocking on the doors, trying to get in, like you. Like I remember in high school, my dream was actually either go to acting or be a director. I really like to, I love movies. I'm a huge movie guy. Um, I love the way movies are made. When you're talking about the 80s, Ferris Bueller was one of my favorites.
Oh yes. Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time. And then as I got older, Shawshank Redemption became one of my favorite movies. You know,
Sure. That's good.
Star Wars, all the Star Wars movies are in my repertoire because I'm a Star Wars fanatic and I'm I'm a dork when it comes to Star Wars. I mean, I own a lightsaber that I built from Disney. I have another lightsaber behind my laptop behind here right now.
You do?
Yes, I do. I'll even show it to you. Oh,
Sure. It's
I gotta take the background off. Hold on. Just background effects. None. Let's see if this works. I try to do this one. That is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
dude, that's sweet.
And it's a replica, but it's the lightsaber.
How long did it take you to make that?
I didn't make it, I bought it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
But my other lightsaber, which I have kind of put away, is it took me I'm gonna say about 30 minutes to make because you build the whole thing from scratch. It
Yeah.
was a cool experience for me, and it was the dork in me. I'll say it. It was a dork in me because I love. And then I collect Star Wars cards too, and a friend of mine I met through Whatnot. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna meet Hayden Christensen."
Oh yeah?
I was like, "Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen." She goes, "Yes, he's out in Texas doing a signing." She goes, "I'll wait in line if you pay for it because I already got mine.
Let's go. You got it?
I have it. It's now at PSA getting graded
Wow.
because I want the the signature is 100% authentic. I'm just doing it if I ever want to sell it, which I doubt I ever will. I've had people ask me how much would sell for it. I go $10,000. They're
At
like,
least.
he said, that's ungraded. I go, yeah, but you're not going to find it anywhere else cheaper than me.
Yeah, that is
So,
true.
but I said to my wife, but God forbid anything happens to me, you have that graded card, you'll get at least 20 grand. You know, and she started cracking up. She goes, "You're an ass." I go, "Thanks, I love you too." But it's just like it's one of those holy grail cards
Yeah,
for me. Like I'm a huge NFL person. I love football. I grew up on football. I mean, I grew up on soccer too. Racing, Formula One, NASCAR,
yeah.
basketball, old school NBA. I hate the new NBA now because hate to say it, but they're a bunch of pansies.
It's different, that's for
It
sure.
is. It is. When people ask me why don't I think LeBron James is a go, I dislike LeBron James with a passion. I don't think he's the GOAT. Everyone goes, "Oh, he's got more stuff than Jordan." And I go, "Yeah." And the thing is, in this era, yeah, because he doesn't go into the paint like Jordan, Bird, Stockton, Malone, freaking Kobe Bryant. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's true.
Isaiah Thomas. When you're talking about old school basketball,
Yeah, I loved Thomas when he was on the Celtics. He
yeah,
was badass.
he was badass. And I'm not saying that the NBA has changed. I just feel like the rules have changed and it's made it softer.
I can see that.
You,
Yeah,
you,
yeah. I
I
don't watch a
mean,
lot of sports, but when I do, it's definitely different from what I've seen in the
yeah.
past.
So
Yeah.
that's why and what turned me off with LeBron James is when he goes, "I'm taking my talents to Miami," when he did that whole big ESPN thing. And that's when I'm just like, you're kidding me, right? You're gonna chase for a championship. Jordan build championships. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing with your legacy now. You're building
Maybe.
well, yeah, you're building yourself.
Trying to.
But it's not gonna happen overnight either.
This is true.
You know what I mean? You're taking the steps to building your legacy, man.
Yeah.
And that's something that people need to see sometimes. Is it going to happen overnight? No, we know that. You and I know that.
Yeah, of course.
Is it going to happen soon? I think it will. Especially when this movie comes out this year. You know what I mean? Well, you got to, think about it. You had Danny Trejo in the movie. First of all, I would be starstruck.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty cool.
You know what I mean? Because it's Danny freaking Trejo, man, and that poor guy gets all of the parts of him being the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's some of the best movies I've seen. You know what I mean? Guy gets guy gets killed in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh,
He
I
had
know,
he's
dude.
he's got the best line. Welcome to the titty twister. He's got the best line. You know,
It's a pretty good line.
it
I gotta
is.
give you
I mean, he's
that.
got that. He's got a bunch of great movies. You know what I mean? But on top of it, it's being Hispanic on top of it, though.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
When you look at the long list of actors of the Hispanic world, there's not many.
There's not, unfortunately.
Don't get me wrong. I thought Al Pacino when I was growing up, when I saw Scarface for the first time, I didn't even know he was Italian. Damn guy spelled. I thought he was legit Cuban
Yeah,
because he played that role so damn well,
very well.
and he made it legit like he was Cuban. Damn guy's a freaking Italian, greatest actor.
Mhm.
But then I look at Cheech Marin,
Which,
Cheech and Chong.
yeah,
I look at him. That guy came from nothing to becoming world renowned with some of his best comedic skits on pot with Tommy Chong. But after the with when that all went off, and then he did TV shows,
yeah,
but he got his foot in the door like you're doing. You're banging on that door, man, and that's something I admire because you're doing it.
doing my best.
Yeah, but still, you got on to if you think about it, you got onto a Hulu show and you knocked on a door and you got a lead on a movie.
Hey, that's not even it, dude. 2 years into acting, I've already got like three movies in the works.
There you go.
I didn't even get to finish, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We got into see that's why I
No,
got off
you're
topic.
good. Are you kidding me?
But that's the thing. But that's what I love because people don't realize this. You know what I mean? Like it's not easy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, you struggle and you're doing well, dude. And that's something that if no one said anything, they got to commend you a little bit. You know?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of people tooting my horn, but that's okay because I know every film set I walk on,
Mhm.
I know that people are watching me and I know that I'm good, but I don't need to parade about how I'm good.
Yeah.
I let what I do speak for itself. And I won't lie to you, I don't have many friends. I find it hard to get along with people. It's very awkward. It's
Hmm.
hard for me to relate to some people. I've always kind of been a bit of an outcast, but
Yeah.
that's fine. And as long as I can focus on what I focus on, I try to give everything I can. Let me think. After that, look, while I was doing that movie, I went to the Globes. Didn't tell you that.
Oh, nice.
Went a couple actor friends of mine. Ran into an old friend, Helen Hunt.
Holy Christ.
I
Yeah.
used to once upon a time I dated her daughter.
Oh, okay.
I got a photo somewhere. I'll send it to you.
Oh, that's
Um,
pretty cool though. You
yeah,
dated her
she's
daughter.
great. No, lovely lady. But while I was working on Shadow of the Sun, I did some work on Seth Rogen's Apple TV show, The Studio. I did
Okay.
some work on Dexter, the spin-off series. I did some voice acting on Tomb Raider, that Netflix animated series.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, I did another animated movie called The Big Spill from Lost Lion Film Animations.
Okay.
Um, Later this year, I'm doing voice acting for Dark Mean City. Shout out Dark Mean City, available on Steam and PlayStation 5 soon. Um,
Which I own a PlayStation 5.
yes, you gotta play it, dude. I don't even own a console, but I think I'm gonna get a console just so I could play it. Um, Norberto Sanders, he's a wonderful producer and director. I've been hounding this dude for like years. I'm like, dude, please put me in your movie. He's like, I'm not putting you in my movie, but I'll put you in this video game. I'm voicing like four people. I'm like, yes, dude.
Dude,
Oh my
that's
God, let's
awesome.
go.
First of all, I'm a big video game fan, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
have to get this game.
Yes, dude.
Hmm. I'll look forward to this one.
Man, me too. I'm excited.
But still, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment there, man. I mean, that's more than a lot of people could say they've done.
I do my best. Like, my thing is, I don't take no for an answer. Like
Right.
if they say, "Oh, we're not sure we're gonna go in that direction," I'm like, "Cool. Well, where else can I fit in? Do you need someone to do this, do that, do that, do that?" I weasel my way in there.
There's
You know,
nothing wrong with weaseling in, but the right way, though.
hey man, who could say no to this? I'm
This is
handsome. I'm
true.
charming. Ah,
Well,
yes.
I mean, in my straight way, yes, I will agree to this, so people don't get the wrong idea. But hey, you know what? And I will say this: not that it's nothing wrong with it. I'm happy for everybody who gets along with everybody. It doesn't matter race, creed, or sexual orientation. As long as we're all good. I have friends who are gay, and I respect them to death, and I love them to death because they are the one of the most reliable people I've met.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you're happy? I'm happy for you. That's all and I respect that.
Yeah, I feel like I have a hard enough time walking around with self-esteem on my own,
Hmm.
as alone as I am. I mean, I feel like I guess what's categorized as a more socially acceptable person. I'm just a normal straight white. I'm not white. I'm a normal straight man. And I have a lot of admiration for people that can just walk around so proud and so freely with who and what they are. And they're not
Yeah.
ashamed and they just they don't care that other people don't want to accept them.
Yeah.
I can't even really do that. It takes lot more courage than I could ever have or
One,
probably,
th-
you know.
and I get that because I'm not the most popular person. I'm not the biggest name out there. You know what? I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, and that's
Yeah.
something. I can walk my head high these days and say that. You know what I mean? Back
Yeah.
in the day, I couldn't.
No,
You
I
know,
get,
there
yeah.
was a point in my life that I could not hang my head that high at all. You know, and and it's kind of funny. And somehow it turns into music somehow with me. But Linkin Park was a huge part of my life too.
Yeah.
And there
Oh,
was
yeah.
the one song that really put a perspective for me was the song "Somewhere I Belong."
Yes. That's a good one.
And that song, and I was saying, where do I belong? And it took me over a long time to figure that out. But you know what? I'll tell you this: I know where I am, and I'm happy where I really belong. Because without that, I don't know what else. I don't know who knows where I would be.
Yeah, I don't know. Good thing we don't have to find out.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a good thing too. I'm taking that. But and that's the thing. People don't realize like other people's struggles. You know, I don't. When I struggle, I might post something on like, "Hey, tough day. It is what it is. Just suck it up, choke it up." You know what I mean? Or sometimes I've been posting a little bit here and there, like Rocky motivation. You know what I mean? Like my favorite, even though it's not the best Rocky movie, Rocky Balboa was like, it's not how hard you get hit, is how do you get up from it.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone said it the best. Shout out to Sly Stallone, which is still one of my favorite actors to this day. Um, he said it the best in the movie. The world ain't sunshine and rainbows.
Yes, not.
And that's something that still to this day kind of still hits me because he's right. Because we all struggle in life. I know I do. You know what I mean? We all do. But one thing is, as long as you have you as a good support system, but if you have two or three people that you could just talk to and vent off, like I do see somebody for therapy.
Yeah.
There's some things I could talk to my wife, and there's some things I can't.
Yeah.
And I don't like holding it in anymore because when I hold things in, I become, I don't know, somebody else, another guy I don't like. And I try to bury that guy as deep as I can because I don't like to go back to that guy.
I know what you mean. I
You know,
really do.
and I like who I am now. I've come a long way, and that makes me happy. That's what it comes down to.
It should make you happy.
Yeah.
You know, I've I've always been a really troubled person, I guess if you could say that. I didn't come from the best home. Grew up in a bad neighborhood,
Hmm.
kids at school were tough, home was tough, didn't have friends, I was always getting in trouble. I was like biting teachers and stuff and like stealing from kids, dude. Like I was just such an angry guy, I didn't know what else to do. So, they say that rage is just miscommunicated sadness.
Hmm.
Um and talking a little bit more about like I guess with more mental health, it's like,
Hmm.
I always kind of knew that like I guess when I was like a teen and I started let me put it this way. Growing up I used to be very anti everything
Okay.
out of all my siblings. I have four siblings. I have a lovely brother and I have two lovely sisters that I love to death. Um, you know, they're all relatively normal. They
Hmm.
have good relationships, good jobs, steady mental, capacities
Yep.
from what I see. And I always wondered why I couldn't really. It was like it was too hard to function sometimes. Um, and I don't know. I guess I should have noticed early on that my life would be heading towards a certain route. I definitely didn't think it would end up in rehabs or some run-ins with the law.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely didn't think it would be waking up in the hospital, from benders. I always knew that I had some trouble, but I never pictured that for myself.
Right.
Um, and that was definitely a hard pill to swallow at a time. At the time, um, you know, like I dabbled with like, like sipping, sneaking sips of beer as a kid, and like sneaking some, like puffs of, cigarette butts I find on the floor, and then it
Right.
turns into, like vaping at school, and stealing loosies from the gas station, and then you know, and
Little by
sipping,
little.
yeah, like then like sipping a little bit of liquor, on the roof as a teen,
Hmm.
sneaking a little cigarette, feeling cool, catching a little buzz, and then
Yeah.
it starts to feel so fun and good that I'll have not just a Saturday thing, but like a Saturday and Sunday thing, and then I'll only drink with my dinner, and then hey, I mean it's almost three, it's almost five dinner time. Let's catch a little buzz, and then it was like I couldn't even have my morning coffee without some liquor in it, and it turns into everything it's not supposed to.
Right.
And when I when we drink and we use, we are not pleasant to be around, and that statement always bothered me because
Hmm.
I didn't see anything wrong with the way I was living.
Right.
I could, as long as I could, hold down a job, sort of pay my bills, I was in my full blown right to drink my breakfast to my dinner, and you know, I didn't care if I didn't make it home on time, or I passed out in the lawn. That's fine, whatever. I puked
Done
up.
that before. Yeah.
I feel fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I have work. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna do this. I didn't see anything wrong with the way I was living.
Hmm.
Um, but other people do, and it's very it's a very scary realization when you realize just when you finally look in the mirror and you really see it for yourself. It's there's no other way to describe it other
Hmm.
than it's just like it's all too much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, here we are, starting the life, you know what I mean? The process. And, I feel that you're doing very well and you are making a name for yourself now. You know what I mean?
I'm trying, doing my best.
Well, I mean, listen, you got things going on, for me, you're in a video game for crying out loud. You know what I mean? You're going to be in a
Yeah,
video game. That's going to be epic.
hopefully.
You know, hopefully, one day I could say I was up there and I'll be like saying, see that movie star? He was on my show before he was huge. You know what I mean? And I hope, nothing for the best for you. You know that.
I know. I know.
And that's something that's I can say with 100% confidence, I know there's going to be a huge break sooner or later for you.
I
And
appreciate that.
and that break is going to come sooner or later than when you realize it. It's funny. Someone said it. You'll never, when you're not looking for it, it'll pop in your face.
It is true.
You know what I mean?
That has definitely been my experience with a lot of the things,
Hmm.
both good and bad. But even the bad, there's always something good to be learned from that too.
Yeah. I mean, the way I look at it is like you've made some awesome connections.
It did. It definitely did.
You know what I mean? You got connections that, hey, do you hear anything that's going on? Or, you have your agent now. And I know you just went to a different agency. You know what I mean? And you have that type of help too to help you
Yeah.
to land. Even if it's like the smallest role to the biggest role, you're landing something. That's the way I
Yeah.
look at it.
Speaking of agencies, yeah, I'm in the process of I have my pick of the litter. I got a couple different ones looking at me. I feel like the prettiest girl at the dance. I'm like, who should I
Nice.
go with? I'm looking at a couple. Peter Killian's agency, very reputable.
Hmm.
Um, PMTM, they're a modeling mostly based agency. Couple different other ones. I'm in the process of finishing filling out my paperwork. I am going to be officially joining SAG very soon.
Nice.
Um,
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
As
And
as Sean Astin is the president of the SAG now.
Yes, yes.
One of my favorite actors too.
Hey, he's hey.
Played actually one of my favorite movies, Rudy, and I loved him in
Oh
Goonies.
yeah?
I went to a Catholic school,
Mhm.
so I was born into Notre Dame that way. So
Okay.
Notre Dame was football. I played football for 4 years of high school. I never played anything but that. And Notre Dame football was just part of the DNA with us. And
Right.
I am a huge Notre Dame fan. So when that movie came out and I saw him in there, that was like the dream. He lived it. He played that actor Rudy Rudiger, that real life. And to foresee him being 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, and really busting his butt like
Yeah.
anybody else. That's like legendary.
It's definitely it's really rare to see something so real like that. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It's really
Yeah,
weird.
it is really
It's
weird.
not, it's not really what's been going on lately. It's like I'm kind of tired of I hate to say it, don't come at me, like all the same faces in the same movies and it's just
Things
same
will
like
change.
yeah, we'll see.
Things will change. I mean, you're gonna get that SAG card soon,
Hey man, who knows?
right?
Um maybe maybe there are some things I haven't mentioned that, if they point my direction, they could be launching me further. Who knows?
Who
I don't know.
knows? You know
I
what?
don't
And
know.
that keep that to yourself. You know why? Because that's something you got to focus on now, and
Yes.
that's what I'm leaving at that because it's gonna happen. I already know it. So I'm the first to say it here on the show. I'll be the
Man.
I'll be the first to say it.
I I only hope I'm worthy.
One thing I've learned, it's not being worthy, it's how we accept it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being worthy, you're worthy because you're here. One thing I've learned, you know what I mean? You're here. You're worthy. It's how we accept it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If an opportunity appraises ourselves to be, I'll just throw this out there. Say a $5 million movie budget comes your way and they come to you, that means you're worthy, bro. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's how you're going to feel and make sure it's the right fit for you. You know what? There was oh my God, who was it? I was watching Glenn Powell. First of all, good actor. Loved him in a few movies already. He did that movie. He did that Hulu show, Chad Powers, that Eli Manning skit, where he's a failing football star, and then he changed his face. He pulled a Mrs. Doubtfire, as he
I think
said.
I haven't seen that yet. I
It's
haven't
actually
seen
pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah?
good. Yeah. So he was talking on a talk show saying how he almost rejected the show for Top Gun, the new movie, Top Gun Maverick, because he was going for Miles Teller's role. So the actor, he didn't get it, and they told him why. And it was kind of funny. Was he said it was Fourth of July, but Tom Cruise convinced him to come on the movie. He said it's not. It doesn't matter what role you get. It's you have to look at it as, is it going to make me look great in the different role?
Yeah.
So, Tom Cruise says he doesn't pick the $5 billion big budget movies. He's making sure it fits what he does.
Yeah.
It'll make you. So that's something I just learned the other day, actually. I was watching on YouTube. So it's kind of funny. I watch a lot of YouTube, when I can. But to
Yeah.
hear that from another well-known actor is pretty cool to know that, he almost passed up on Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And
Man.
Tom Cruise, a big actor, told him, listen, you might not be for this part, but I love you for this part and do
Yeah.
it. He took a chance and his movie career is again. It only takes one to make you to
That
be
is true.
known.
That is true.
So you could be that extra that gets, well, that extra did really good. I want him in this speaking part.
Yeah.
It might be one or two lines, but then they're going to remember you on a two-page story, lines. 2 pages later, like he was really good in that one. Let's give him a semi-role,
Yeah.
and then that semi-role could turn into a bigger role, and then the bigger role could turn into the lead role. So there's
Yeah.
always opportunities, I think, in that way. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not an actor for crap, what I mean? But at the end of the day, I've seen enough movies. I've seen some of these actors grow up, you know,
Yeah.
from being some of them get lucky being on a commercial to making it big and them being found at a grocery store just because they had a look.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, remember the show Entourage?
Yeah, I love Entourage.
All right, look at the lead actor. Oh God, I can't remember his name now.
Who plays Vinny, right?
Vinny.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Look at how he got found. He got discovered on a Mentos commercial.
Yeah, 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 that's right. Yeah.
And he had his buddies. And the kind of funny thing is, this was Mark Wahlberg's life.
Yeah.
If you think of all the characters he used were the actual friends of his.
Dude, I
Like
love Entourage.
Entourage is just, first of all, I'm a big Jeremy Piven fan.
Yes.
So
Oh, dude.
just hearing him scream Lloyd and all that stuff, it's just his one-liner comebacks.
He cracks me up the most. I can't watch that show without like just laughing to the point where I'm like, I have to turn it off because I'm
Yeah,
my stomach hurts.
I've watched all seasons, I think about 15 times, and I could probably go back to it and rewatch that whole every season and still crack up. You know, and
Yeah.
and I look at it, I look at the guy Turtle. He becomes like, he was the busboy, he was the bad guy, and he made himself into a millionaire.
Yeah.
You
Dude's
know,
arc is crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the guy who played Vinny's brother, Johnny. Another guy, hey, he was known in the one in the sector of the 90s playing Targal in this Viking Quest, and he's still a big guy. And then he gets a chance in the movie. He wins a freaking Emmy, I think, or not Emmy. Was it Emmy or the Golden Globe?
Yeah, the Golden Globe, that's right.
And look at him then. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's funny. It's just opportunities will come.
Sorry,
You
I'm
know.
fiddling with my
Oh
camera.
no, no worries, man. This makes the show better.
Hey, don't make fun of me.
I'm not.
I don't know how to use this thing. Okay, wait, I think. Oh, no.
There we go. Whoop, and there you go.
I'm so sorry, brother.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. This is why we don't edit, because this is why I don't edit at all. This is why we keep it real.
I'm trying to I'm trying to plug this phone charger in without taking it off this podium thing.
I trust me. I've learned myself how to do it. It's not easy.
I think I got it. Hold on. Pause, holding, hold. Charge the damn phone.
Well, we're pretty much almost done actually, because we've been on for a long time
I know.
talking. So that's a good thing, man. Dude, I gotta admit, hearing your story too, how you grew up, how you're doing it, it's a true, legit thing. And I can't tell you, like you said, you might not have a lot of people in your corner, but you definitely got me, and people who are gonna hear this, they're gonna really get your back on it too, man. I feel it. And the opportunities are coming.
I really appreciate that.
It's
I do.
legit, you know, I keep saying my opportunity will be there one day, but you know what? I'll keep knocking down my door. I'll keep doing what I do. And if an opportunity comes up, I'm gonna so take it. Even if it's 30 seconds, I could care less. But
Yeah.
take your opportunities, man. You got a lot of stuff working already in the works. And be proud of it. Because a lot of people who are not doing it, if you think about how much you accomplished in 2 to 3 years now, yeah, you accomplished a lot more than other people have done in 7 to 8 years.
Yeah, it's in March it'll be 2 years on the
Yeah.
dot. Not even 2 years.
So 2 years, man, you accomplished a lot more than you realize. And sometimes, like you said, you don't like to toot your own horn, but once in a while, give yourself that pat, bro, because you deserve it.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, man, no joke. And that saying, you know what I mean? Roman, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, man, letting people know who you are and your story too.
Dude,
Um,
are you kidding me? I'm the one who should be thanking you. I still remember a lot of the talks that we've had, and you were always so transparent with me, and you
hmm,
opened up to me about so many things. And I didn't even really I forgot about the podcast. I didn't even really care about that at that point. I just wanted to
hmm,
keep talking to you, and
yeah,
it made me feel so just so appreciated that you just pick up the phone and you
yeah,
just share a little chat, talk about ask how you are, and your family is.
yeah,
You ask how I am. You know
yeah,
that's enough.
yeah. Sometimes it's one of those things. 5 minutes. Hey, what's up? Everything good? Yeah. All right, cool, man. Listen, I'm busy, but I'll chat with you in a little bit. All right, cool. You
Yeah.
know, you're a busy person. I'm a busy person, but sometimes that 5 minute chat sometimes lifts up anybody.
Yeah, I'm not that busy.
Well, I'll trade spots for you for a day.
That's
I feel like I've not stopped in about a year, but
parenthood, I guess.
it's more than parenthood. It's more like competitions and stuff too.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So, and then with the second one's about to get into sports soon. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, we
that's
think,
a headache.
yeah, yeah. If
Yeah.
he's not destroying the house, he'll be destroying somebody. Uh, let's just put it that way. But you know what? Both of them, actually, I'm going to say all three of them keep me on my toes, which I've been on now. So,
Yeah.
and I don't go out there a lot displaying the joys of everything because on IG, there's people that misconstrue stuff and all that. And that's why I don't post like family stuff. On my personal page and my own personal, I'll do it just because it's family and friends. But I do it when it's something fun. Like I did one during like 2 weeks ago, we did a huge Christmas dinner with the Grinch. That's something I posted because that's something
I seen
was,
that.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun with the kids.
That was cute. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So things like that, man. But dude, what a hell of a conversation tonight. This is
Dude,
it was a great episode, man. This was fun, first of
I
all.
appreciate it. I was so into it. Dude, my DoorDash got here. I didn't even care. I wanted to finish this. I was not about to get up.
All
I don't even
right.
care. I'll order something else. I don't even care.
Well, let's do this. Let everybody know where
Yes.
they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, officially Romeo V Castle. Um, you can send me a letter. My address is no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook. That's for older people. Um,
Thanks.
find me
Rub
on
that.
IMDb.
Thanks for rubbing that one in for older people. Oh, good Lord.
Look, man, Facebook, it's like for moms and stuff, dude.
And dads. Oh,
Um,
man. Thanks for busting on me a little bit on my age. Damn you.
always. You kidding me? I'm young. I got to be cocky about it while I
You
still
do.
can.
Yeah, yeah, good point. I
Yeah.
can't anymore. I'm getting old. Gotta get the cane soon on me.
Oh yeah. Make sure it's bedazzled.
No.
Yes.
No. No. No, not bedazzled. Oh, good Lord. Make me feel even more older now. Dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight, man. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to share this, everybody. I'll let you know once we sign off when it's going to be released and everything.
Oh,
Um,
man, thank you. Are you kidding me?
and I appreciate you. Guys, living proof here, like every other show I have, people work hard, they get it done, and I guess that's the end.